Brixton. I'm not sure where to start. But I suppose the beginning is generally the best place. Last year, a young woman popped up in my message requests on X. She was young, pretty, funny, and she liked cats. The first thing she ever said to me was, "Mersh, I have feelings for you since following the Aaron arc for over a year. I too live in Florida." Knowing full well the ridiculousness of such a message, I dismissed it as another in a long line of attempts to troll me and would proceed to prudently ignore the message and move on as I always do. From May until July the messages continued until I decided to reply as a genuine human being to another. I offered some of the best advice I could muster. If everyone had just listened to me in the first place, my advice would have saved so many people so much fucking misery and pain and bullshit. If I had a nickel for every time anyone ever actually listened to me when I was making sense, I'd be poor. Thankfully I make money being a clown on the internet. I tried to warn you that opening up that door would be a bad idea. Before this young woman entered my life, literally cold called, I was alone. I wasn't lonely. I was resigned to an emotional purgatory that, while for most people might feel like hell, allows a person like myself to reassign that energy into other avenues where fulfillment and success is more likely. The show. Helping cats. Making money. Just kinda enjoying my life in general. Perhaps not the most lofty of goals but certainly attainable and sustainable. No boundaries were being pushed. No ultimate payoff was being sought. Just a cage I built myself and was comfy in. I spent, or it could be regarded as I wasted, a lot of my energy in my younger years looking for the girl I could spend forever with. But because of a combination of being born ugly and poor and going through legit trauma and substance abuse and being a faggot in general, I always managed to fuck it up somehow. Over time, I found that no single thing fucked my life up more than the pursuit of a woman who could genuinely love me. Dating just always made my shit worse, made things more complicated and eventually put me in a situation where I self-destructed. It was easier to fuck when I could fuck and wanted to fuck. And otherwise just check out. You know I don't like using the word happy. To me, happiness has always been a concept that specifically describes a moment of fleeting ecstasy. True happiness is a lie. To me, being content should be one's best pursuit. Every single second you can log in life being content should be recorded as its own victory. Most of the worst of life comes from chasing happiness. Wanting more. Thinking you deserve better instead of being grateful for what you have. Sound familiar? At some point, this young woman decided to impulsively hook up with the grossest pig I've ever encountered in my 40+ years of dealing with the worst people. It was strange. I felt responsible. This awful person was about to take advantage of and ruin the life of this poor, innocent woman. And it was in some indirect way my fault. I had no say. I had no control. But I felt like it was my fault. Looking back, this should have been my first major sign to cut and run, to be honest. You plugged fully in, and voluntarily made a decision to fuck Ethan Ralph. Jesus Christ. You even went back for seconds. And let him stay at your house longer than I ever did, a theme we'll expand on later. The first time you're forced to eat shit, yeah, I should be concerned and try to help. But it's sad to see you sniffing around the trough on your own free time looking for seconds. You plugged fully into the whole destroy Mersh thing. You shared private convos, and enriched people who have spent 10 years trying to ruin my life. Second time in one paragraph where I will say we will expand on this later. You sure have patterns. You literally did the thing I was afraid you'd do. Like, right away. Before I ever met you, hung out with you, or fucking acknowledged you, you were a part of a public campaign to set my life on fire, and create some public image of me being a cuck. You only expressed some regret when the righteous backlash happened and it started getting bad for you. Despite all of that, I still knew that you entered a part of the internet you were clueless about and had a better idea of what you were in store for than you did. I didn't want them to consume you, and in a very rare show of grace I tried to fix the situation. In what would become the overall theme of our relationship, we established a dynamic where I spend time and energy actively trying to improve your life and enrich you despite you doing everything you can to make mine worse. Ralph was raw dogging you, not me. But I was out there trying to make sure you didn't suffer the consequences of your own actions. I did not want to be with you at that point. I did not plan to even meet you in person. I just didn't want you harmed any more than you already were. When we first got together, everything was amazing. I had 7-8 months of actual happiness, not just being content. I liked that Brixton. She liked me. She liked my show. She was dialed in. She wasn't embarrassed of me. She wanted me to meet her parents. In fact, Esachi brought it up. You were so involved in every moment of my life, and vice versa. And then you were just gone. We know what happened. Just to recap, you started emotionally cheating on me behind my back. And you fell for some basic-ass game and got used and shit on and abused. You allowed yourself to be thoroughly humiliated and destroyed twice because I wasn't good enough for you. It wasn't a one-time thing. It's become our dynamic. Again, you don't want me. You want attention. But I always seem to be your insurance policy. And what hurts the most is that lately, even after putting my own feelings on hold twice in lieu of what is best for you, putting my own needs on a shelf just to make you feel better, after all of that, you aren't even fucking grateful for it. Not even a bit. You came back to me and somehow you have a fucking attitude about it. My audience is the problem. They said mean things about you. You did horrible things to me multiple times. But you can't forgive them. Grow up. If you lived one day of your own exploits from my perspective, you wouldn't have the constitution to weather that storm. Despite everything you have done to me, I have forgiven you. All I have ever wanted was what we thought we decided on last year. But I have come to the bleak realization you are the kind of person to just use a person like me until you find whatever it is you really want again. You probably already have, and given your history I bet he's a fucking peach. If my personality was half as dark as the guys you would rather be blowing in 4K video, this would be a Nightwave episode with your picture in the thumbnail and every excruciating detail of your life on display, not a genuine letter to you begging you to turn it around. But once again, that's our dynamic. I treat you better than all of the guys you'd rather be fucking. This is a good time to remind you I didn't cold call you. You burrowed into my life. Then as soon as you had a chance, you took a whole week off of work to let Kevin Scampoli film himself fucking you in your ass without lube while you begged to marry him. You did photo shoots with him. You let him taunt me. You taunted me. You let him humiliate me. And you thought it was funny. You guys had a fucking song. As you read these words, you are probably turned on thinking about it. Because something is wrong with you. I would bet everything in my bank account you somehow managed to suck his dick more in that week than you have mine in all the time I've known you. These are shitty, mean things to say. But they are even worse things to experience from my side. This is the reality. If it's shitty to hear said to you, imagine being the guy having it done to him. In his real life. With actual consequences. Do you even know what consequences are? Have you ever stayed behind once to face them? You forced your way into my life, became a big part of my life and a literal human battery for me. Then you pulled the plug. Now I have a cranky chick I say goodnight to every night. She isn't that into me. She doesn't watch my show. She shows me zero vulnerability. She keeps me cut out of her life. She has been cruel to me, yet for some reason I'm the one who feels like I'm being resented. We don't like the same shit. But we're both in a habit of saying, I love you, to each other as some weird fucking empty mantra. To me it feels like some kind of standoff where neither person wants to be the one to walk away from the other, despite not getting anything they want from the situation. Can we fucking stop being foolish and just acknowledge what the fuck it is and figure out the best resolution instead of doing this tired-ass pretend shit? It's funny you pretend you can't be around my audience, so you go get abused by everyone else, sometimes even under a fake name. Honestly? Fuck you for that. You complained you didn't want to be a character, and you've basically been a fucking prostitute for every streamer but me on the internet. You do want all of that shit. You just don't want any of it from me. On my best day I am bored. On my worst, I am angry and resentful. That resentment is building to a point where I begin to feel actual hatred creep in. Whenever you mention all of the other people you'd rather be watching and hanging out with, the Buckmans, Koopa and other fags, frankly I want to throw you out of my house mid-sentence. When I was talking the other night and describing my day you asked me about, you stopped paying attention because you were too busy laughing at a super chat you sent Buckman. I hadn't seen you in a week. You have no idea what's going on in my life. I couldn't fucking wait to get out of there the other night. And just drive. I never wanted to be farther away from you than I did in that moment. I remember when I had the grace to entertain the idea of trying to see past stuff and forgive you and move past your super fun May adventures. And you came back and one of the first things you wanted to do was bitch that I used to joke that we were looks matched. You were so concerned with establishing that you are so pretty and out of my league. You were back after all the goddamn disgusting, trifling shit you did in public. Shit that any normal human being with self-awareness would never have existed on the internet afterward, and your big complaint was that I thought we were looks matched. You are pretty. But you are not anywhere close to out of my league. Calm the fuck down. The nerve that you even brought that up as a bone of contention after being the double most degraded person on the internet betrays your extremely unreasonably high opinion of your station in life. And you still want to act like you're doing me a favor by coming over here, eating and drinking and using my shit? Like you had anything to be complaining about. You were fucking lucky to be inside my goddamn house at all. You should be grateful that I of all people would give you a second chance and not look at you the way everyone else does now. But you're a woman. You wanna be hot instead of, I dunno, self-aware. Or thankful. Or content. I have never in my life given the amount of grace, love and patience that I have to you in such a short time. And all I have gotten for it is a lazy, disengaged, selfish cheating girl who isn't worth the effort anymore. You've done none of the stuff we've talked about. You don't plan. You don't care. You just exist. I want more. I want a future. And I'm starting to see what that future looks like if I keep letting shit go the way it's going. I kinda gave this a shot. It ain't working. I deserve to be taken care of, too. I miss the girl who left her toothbrush here. I miss the girl who wasn't anywhere but here physically, mentally and emotionally. I want to start by saying one thing, I love you. Genuinely. I actually want the best for you despite the fact that you have done more harm to me than good. I'm just realizing that I can't make it be good for you. You have to do that. I want to tell you some things that are uncomfortable but true and I need to get off my chest in the event I never hear from you again. You are capable of warmth at times. But you are not a warm person. You keep the significant people in your life separate from one another, because it's in your nature to deceive and hide things from everyone. You are inherently dishonest and you have a quiet, seething anger to you that is barely noticeable at first. And you direct it at me. At your parents. At anyone who tries to love you. Nothing scares you more than two people who genuinely care about you being in the same room. You are nowhere near the worst person or even a bad person. But you are one of the most selfish and secretive people I've ever met in my life. Sometimes it seems as if you are simply disinterested in investing as much into another person as they are willing to invest in you. Other times, it seems as if you legitimately resent people who love you and expect things from you. You would rather be used by literal subhumans. I'm never going to abuse you, shit on you and use you enough for you to actually respect me. Sorry your childhood trauma played out that way. As someone whose own childhood shit fucked them up, I got my own stuff to deal with. It made me an insecure faggot with abandonment issues. It made you vindictive. Here we are. Despite always supporting you, loving you, giving you whatever you want or need, no matter how well I try to interpret your mixed signals and schizo needs, I have always managed to come up short of the expectations of the woman who cold called me. You don't love me. Not because I am not good enough. And not because you don't want to. I just don't think you are capable of loving someone else in a conventional way. You have a lot of work to do before you ever utter the word love to another being with an opposable thumb. Even though I've felt this for some time, I've continued to go along with the comforting lie that we were working on shit. But we're not. And we're getting to a point where the pretending isn't even that good anymore. You've never wasted a single personal day to hang out with me. Facts. I don't hate you. Despite all that has happened, I still love you. I'll always be here for you if you really need someone. I don't think I deserve better than you. But I absolutely deserve better than you're willing to give me. You've harmed friendships I've had for years. You've cost me thousands of dollars. And you've completely ruined my public image, and when you made your video explaining it, you couldn't even be bothered to apologize to me. I was barely a footnote in that video. I was shocked. That was one of the first signs I knew, you don't even realize what you've done. Or maybe you just don't care. Or maybe you have always been that embarrassed by me. I ran that video through Grok and asked it about my role, and it fucking laughed at me. Called me barely a footnote. Even a retarded machine learning model knows what I refuse to face. I genuinely would like one thing from you. If you ever figure out someday why you actually enjoy hurting me so much, would you please be courageous enough to share it with me? I believe I deserve to know that much. I'm done chasing you. I'm done asking what's wrong. I'm done trying to make your life better as like a general daily thing on my to-do list. You got more out of me than a lot of women managed to ever get. And probably ever will get. So I hope you at least remember it with some fucking degree of gratitude and fondness. I'm so tired. I still love you. I'm just tired. And I honestly don't think we did ourselves any favors when we started hanging out again. All it has done is allow us to simply delay the emotional consequences of our past behavior and actions. We're surrounded by smoke, and rather than get out of the fire, we just keep going back to sleep and hoping when we wake up, the danger will be gone. I want a woman who is proud of me. I want a woman who likes me, not just loves me. I want a woman who doesn't try to ruin the lives of everyone who attempts to love her. Maybe someday at a different time and in a different place we'll run into each other and allow the feelings I thought genuinely existed between you and I to exist. http://again. Like winning the Powerball, it's a nice thing I'll use as an emotional crutch and daydream about when I don't want to think about reality. But I won't be holding my breath on actually hitting the jackpot. I'll always look back fondly at that little period when I didn't need cheap gas station pills to feel like the entire world was warm, beautiful, and belonged to me. You were mine once. For a time. Or at least, there was a time you were much better at, or more willing to, pretend for me. And that was nice. Thank you for some of the greatest months I've ever experienced. I still visit that place in my dreams sometimes. I will always love you, Brixton. Forever yours, M.